What is going on, traders? We're going to make this quick. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. In my last video, I said I'm expecting a drop to happen this week. I don't know what, I don't know when, but I do expect a drop to happen this week. And that's exactly what we got today. Now, looking at NVDA. So I'm going to explain my thought process on NVDA real quick so that you guys can understand how I went about my strategy. So, first things first, this rectangle here, this is a daily supply and demand zone. Daily supply and demand zone. This is why I prefer supply and demand zones over support and resistance any day, because they help me stay confident in my trades. They help me stay in my trades. Okay. Support and resistance, you ain't got to worry about it constantly breaking support, constantly breaking resistance over and over, and then you're constantly getting psyched out of your plays. Supply and demand zones are just my bread and butter. Okay, simple as that. Now, this daily supply and demand zone, right? I see a lot of traders, they were saying 905, 905. You know, if Nvidia gets back above 905, we're going back to the moon, right? Wrong. Okay. Absolutely wrong. And it did get scary, right? We did get above 905 a little bit and then we broke back down. But I told you guys, wicks tell you everything you need to know. Wicks tell you a story, okay, on these candles. I'm trying to get rid of this and it's just not letting me. There we go. So wicks tell you a story, right? So what happened here? Bulls stepped in, and you would think once these bulls stepped in and we immediately reject 876, we get back up all the way to 900, that we'll start seeing more upside. But that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen at all. And then you look at the next few candles. Bears are stronger in this candle here. We got a bigger bearish wick here, bigger bearish wick here, same here, reversal pattern, and boom, we drop. Again, wicks tell you exactly what sellers and buyers are doing. A lot of traders use value profiles, but the candles tell you. The candles tell you exactly what you need to know. Okay. And all it told me was that bears are slowly creeping in. They're slowly creeping in. And we continue to fail to get back into what? The supply and demand zone on the daily time frame. If it ever comes back, there we go. We continue to fail to get back in here and just simply close and then go higher and get rid of these guys here at around 905. We tried. We went all the way as high as 906.5 and then immediately gave it all back and we broke below. At that point, that was my confirmation that NVIDIA is going to go lower. Now, I didn't expect this low right away. I did have a price target, and you can watch my last video. I did call it. I said 850 is my price target on NVIDIA, and yeah, we got that. We didn't get 850, but we got a huge move to the downside. Also, I said, in order for us to go lower on Nvidia, we need to break below these guys at 876. We need to stop them out of their positions. Again, wicks tell you where sellers and buyers are. You guys are going to hear me say it every single video. Wicks tell you where sellers and buyers are. And we broke below 876, and then eventually we headed towards these guys down here at around 862, 866 range. Okay. Now, can you guess what we need to do next? We need to stop these guys out of here. There's a lot of buyers down here in this range. Okay, a lot of them. So, what are my expectations heading into tomorrow? I do expect somewhat of a bounce heading into tomorrow if we don't get it in after hours. And I am aware that we do have news tomorrow as well, but I'm going by what the charts are telling me. So, I do expect some type of relief bounce because I mean, this was a really big move to the downside where we head towards 876 on NVIDIA, maybe retest it before we start heading towards the next supply and demand zone to the downside and get rid of these guys here. Now, the news tomorrow could cause us to get rid of these guys here. I imagine we'll probably digest maybe some bullish news before we digest the bearish news, and then we start to head lower. Okay. So, again, I do expect some type of retest to the upside, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I don't care. I made my money. Okay, to the downside. 876 retest. We break further down. We get rid of these guys over here. So 850 and lowest I'm looking at is this next supply and demand zone all the way down to about 820. We'll say this gap right here at around 826. I want to say no 823. Okay, so 823. Okay, is my overall target for NVIDIA. I don't expect that to happen tomorrow. Maybe next week we get it, but I do expect sometime between, at least tomorrow and next week, we start heading towards 850 at minimum. Okay. So that is my expectations. Until NVIDIA gets above 905 and stays in this daily supply and demand zone, then I will be somewhat neutral. If it gets above 924, that's when I will be bullish on NVIDIA once again. If it gets above 876, I don't really care for that, I would say. I will still be neutral because that just, to me, that would just be a retest. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at as far as Nvidia. Downside, 850, 823 are my targets. Upside, you just want to see a break above at least 905 and then 924 for me to be as really bullish on Nvidia again. Okay, Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, we finally broke below this trend. We finally did it. It took forever. Okay, we finally broke below this trend, and my expectations for the Nasdaq is pretty much the same for Nvidia. I do expect some type of retest tomorrow. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, then that's fine with me as well. Well, we retest the bottom of this at around 18,350, and then start to head lower towards the next supply and demand zone. So if we break below 18,000, well, not I would say 18,000, but really 17,090 990, I mean, then we could head much lower. So those are the levels that I'm looking at. I'm looking at about this next supply and demand zone down here at around 17,800. That is what I'm looking at. So tomorrow, probably get some type of relief bounce to the upside, maybe retest the bottom of this trend before we start to move much lower. Okay. And that was my expectations for the NASDAQ. As far as upside, people keep saying 18,500. I told you guys, 18,500 is no longer relevant. I know we like to think it's relevant. I know we like to think levels stay pretty much the same all the time, and traders will tell you that. But no, the more you break through a level, the weaker it is. And right now, 18,500 is pretty much butter. Okay, and you can see it here. Look how often we broke through it. It's butter. So your key level to the upside is 18,610. You break below 18,610, you want to be neutral. Okay, at least I'll be neutral. Neutral. After that, you're looking at 18,710. That is the key level for you to look for some type of rally back to the upside. Until then, bearish on the Nasdaq. I mean, this is clearly bearish at this point, right? So a retest 18,350, and then move lower towards the downside. Man, I cannot talk today. A move lower to the downside, maybe towards 17,800. So be on the lookout for that. ES. So now, ES is really interesting here. Okay, really interesting because we broke we broke through we broke out of one supply and demand zone, and then we broke another supply and demand zone. So my price target on ES right now is 5150, at least short term. I want to see us get rid of these guys all in this area and stop them out of their position. Again, Wicks tell you where buyers and sellers are, and I want to get rid of these guys. I want us to get rid of these guys. Hopefully, you guys can see this. All right. I mean, you see it. There's buyers all in this area. A lot of turbulence in this area. So we want to get rid of these guys first. So I'm looking at a move towards 5150 if we do get rid of all these guys here. So I do expect some type of turbulence at least tomorrow, but overall I expect more downside. Lowest I'm looking at is this next supply and demand zone at around 5124, 5123. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at as far as ES. As far as upside goes, until we get back above 5300 and actually hold, I have no interest. Otherwise, I just don't. Okay, as far as upside goes, right? 51 to 50, I mean not 51, but 5250 is where you're going to be neutral, or at least where I will be neutral at, where I'm just like, okay, I should sit on my hands. But once we get back above 5300 then and actually hold there and get out of the supply and demand zone at least 5312, then that's when I'm going to be bullish again. Okay. SPY. SPY pretty much the same thing. I mean, look at this. This is this is insane. Look at this. Okay, I told you guys last video my price target on the SPY is 508. Still sticking to that. I think we went as low as like 510. I thought we did. Maybe I don't know what I was looking at then, but we went as low as about 512. So that was one of my first targets. I do expect SPY to head towards 508. Okay, again, as you guys can see, a lot of buyers here. They're panicking. These guys are panicking. It's the same with the Nasdaq. They are freaking out right now. Okay, these guys all in this area, they are freaking out. They probably getting ready to get out of their positions. Okay, as you guys can see, bears are very strong right now. Look at this. Wicks tell you, they will tell you, the candles will tell you everything you need to know, guys. Look at this. That's insane. Okay, so 508 is my target. Lowest I'm looking at is about 507. I mean, we could head if we break out of the supply and demand zone. I would be very surprised. At least tomorrow, I would be surprised because then we're heading towards these guys here. Let me zoom in. Because then we're heading towards all these guys at around 505. Okay, at that point, I don't unless the news tomorrow is just extremely bad. I don't see us breaking below these guys at least right away. Okay, but 503 is the main concern level as far as SPY goes. Okay, until we get there, then pretty just I'm just regular bearish. Okay, I'm just regular bearish. We break below 503, then it is bad. Okay, that's just really bad. Okay, really bad. Triple Qs. I told you guys my price target was what was it? 435. We're at 435. My I did tell you guys I was in 438 puts. I got out that play. And the reason why I got out that play was because of this crap right here. After hours, I don't know what happened, but sometime in after hours that day, I believe it was like Wednesday night or something, Tuesday night, one of those. This happened. It went all the way to 435. So I was right about my price target, but I didn't get the benefit off of it. So immediately that morning, I just closed out of that position, the 438 puts, and then this ends up happening. So yeah, that was fun. But triple Qs, I mean, we broke out of the supply and demand zone, and we're breaking below another one. So it's not looking good. 433. 433 is the level of concern. I think we're going to head towards 428. Simple as that. I think we're going to head towards 428. I mean, what more do you need there? In order for us to be bullish again, I think it's if you haven't learned by now, we need to get rid of these guys. I don't see that happening tomorrow. The news, I don't. Even if the news came in, I just can't see this happening tomorrow. Well, we break back above 444 and stop these bears out of their position. This is a lot of bears. Okay, this is a strong bearish move right here, and some traders are probably going to say this is a reversal pattern, hammer pattern. Again, I do expect some type of retest to the upside, but I don't think we're going to get rid of these guys. I don't think we're going to get back into the supply and demand zone tomorrow. So I think it's safe to either sit on cash. That's my opinion. That's what I plan on doing, or be somewhat bearish or neutral. Okay. But I don't see us stopping these guys out. I think we're going to head lower. And lowest I'm looking at is this next supply and demand zone at around 429, 428 on the triple Qs. And I believe that's all I really wanted to go over. I mean, I guess we can go over Tesla. Tesla, I'm in 150. Oh, yeah, I should go over Tesla, right? So we're still in 157.5 puts. I added at 175. I told the Discord to add as well. Right. Yeah, so added to Tesla here. So yeah, we added it around 174, 175. So looks like that's playing out very well. Still bearish on Tesla. I don't care. I'm still bearish on Tesla. I don't there's no reason for Tesla to go up besides the market carrying it up. Okay. With all the bad news with deliveries and everything, I just don't see a reason for it to continue to go up. So this move is expected. I guess you could say this is a head and shoulders pattern here, but otherwise bearish on Tesla. I think it's heading towards 150. Simple as that. Okay. If you want to be bullish on Tesla, once again, you need to get rid of these guys up here, all in this area, all the way up to 185. You want to get back above 185. I don't know where my supply and demand zone went, but I did mark it here, but it disappeared. But 185. In order to be bullish on Tesla again, or slightly bullish, I would even say neutral in my opinion, you want to get back above 185. Simple as that. So hopefully you guys are starting to take me serious. Okay. You're starting to take me serious. You're starting to realize that, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let me hit him with a follow. Let me hit him with a subscribe. Let me hit him with a like button. Maybe join his Discord. It's only $25 a month. Maybe somebody out there is taking me serious. Again, congratulations to those who took this in video play. Very good day. Very good day. 1,500%, $1,600 on that play. AMD is looking crazy as well. I'll show you guys that tomorrow if I decide to make a video tomorrow. But other than that, that's all I have, guys. Discord link is in the description below. Hopefully you got something out this video. Whether you agree or disagree, feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a good one, traders.